crafty friends, hope everyone's having a very nice morning. This is going to be part 2 of my Christmas series that I'm doing. The first one was the paper bead flower that can be turned into a piece of jewelry. You can get the paper bead rolling machine on eBay, and it's called the V3 paper bead rolling machine. He has also come out with a second rolling machine, and I'm dying to get it, so I'm going to probably end up purchasing that one as well. It makes bigger beads, and because I like to do jewelry, I thought, well, you know, I could really actually use that machine along with the other one, so I can have larger beads and smaller beads. Well, anyway, this particular series has something to do with turkey platters. And as many of y'all know, I used to be an antique dealer, and sold a lot of things in eBay for many years. Then I got sick, and there's just was no way I could sell these things or pack up the way I was packing and doing, you know, the job that I was doing at that time. So a lot of the stuff was still in possession. I had a lot of things that are out in a storage shed out in the back of the house, and I've got a bunch of stuff in cabinets here that it was stuff that didn't sell, but I didn't want to throw it away because it was antique. I knew it was over 100 years old. It had some value, but it was just a non-sellable item. It was because there was I mean, I actually have found some old platters that from the 1890s, 1870s, on down to the 1850s. But some of the platters that I have found were the old antique white ironstone, but over the years they had aged, so they had turned like a tea-dyed color. Some of them had really bad stains from where they had been used. The turkey grease, you know, absorbed into the platter. The platter may have gotten crazed over the years, and the grease just absorbed inside those platters. So the only thing that, you know, they were really good for was maybe hooking these wire hooks to them and hanging them on the wall. But, you know, who wants a dirty, dingy looking turkey platter on the wall? So a lot of people that were collecting these white ironstone, they wanted the mint of all mint. And every once in a while I would sell, you know, one of these platters, but they were just not really sellable. It's because they were the old look. Well, me, I love the old look. I love the old look. The more stained it is, the more antique it is. Just like in a book. The more stained it has, or the pages are yellowed. Of course, I don't want to get them too yellow, because if they're too yellow, eventually they will crack up and peel away, and they're gone. Poof, paper's dehydrated. And you have to also, with antique books, you have to kind of like preserve them in a certain way. You don't put them in direct sunlight. You keep them away, you know, try to keep them in darkness or a dark room to keep them from coloring, and you try to keep the temperature around the same year-round in that particular room. So there's a lot of things, you know, about antiques that you, in order to preserve them, to keep them nice or to keep them in the original condition. But these were just, you know, a lot of times, too, cleaning these platters, I know how to professionally clean them, but it depends on how the age and how badly stained they are. Sometimes the peroxide solution that I used, you know, I could sit the platters in this particular solution for a week and nothing would come out. I mean, they would get a little clean, but there was just that one stain that wouldn't come out. So I refused to throw them away, and because I knew the value of the age of them. But I knew they were not going to sell, so I kept, and they've been piled up in my cabinets. So I decided to take some out and play with them. And I can't wait to show you what I have done with some of these platters. So ladies, if you're in your thrift store and you find an old looking platter, and actually you can use a newer platter if you want to, but something about that old ironstone antique look and the thickness of the platter really just brought these out. So I cannot wait to show you my my 4 projects. They're all 4 different, so you're going to see 2 different versions of, or well, there's 3 that are made similar or almost the same, but they're just different patterns. And then there's one platter that is I did something totally opposite, so it's not even looks like the 3 platters I'm getting ready to show you. But this just gives you some ideas of what you can do with the old turkey platter that it's just sitting there. You're not going to use it. It's just sitting in the cabinets and wasting space. And also your thrift stores, if you find one of these, it might be something you might want to make your grandmother, your mother, a friend. I mean, they're just really reasonable to make. Depends on where, in eBay, you may find them in eBay, but in eBay you may pay a top dollar for some of these, and some of them you can get them for $9.99, $20.99. Just depends on the sellers and who's selling, who's not. But anyway, these particular platters, I knew they were of value, but I did not want to destroy them, because let's say 50 years from now or 20 years from now, these particular platters do go up in value, and they are hard to find, and they're grabbed no matter what they look like. And that's because of the age. They've gotten older, so they've gotten more valuable. So what I have done with them, except for one platter I'll never be able to change it back. But I can, at least with these, if I decide to change them over. Of course, I'm giving 2 of them away as gifts for my family. My mom's going to get one, and my sister's going to get one. And then there's one I'm going to hang on my wall, and then there's one I'm going to keep for myself. But this is what I have done, and I cannot wait to show you. But if I decide later on, and I'm going to tell my sister and my mother the same thing, if I decide that later on that I want to turn it back into the platter, all I've got to do is soak it in some warm hot water every night, and the stuff will come off, eventually come out. Put it back in some more peroxide solution, and my platter's a platter, still a platter. So, unless I drop it and break it. Well, anyway, this is the first thing I made, and what I did is I Mod Podged. Oh, I can't wait to show you this. I hope it shows up okay. I have made myself, let me look and see. Whoops, let me turn the light on. It's a little dark in here, and I can't see good. There we go. I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not. It's this daylight saving time's got me all messed up. Well, anyway, this is the first one I made. And what I did is I took one of my crocheted doilies out of my little stash pile that I have in a little basket here in my living room. And I Mod Podged it on with a very thick Mod Podge. So I just took several doilies that I had, and I tried to incorporate them together, make a puzzle out of them. And I also used wedding applique. So this was a doily that I found in eBay a while back ago, and I Mod Podged it with a thick coat. I put a coat underneath, very thick, placed it on, and then painted a coat over top. So it's pretty much so on there. And then once I put the first coat on, I took another doily and put that in the center and Mod Podged that from the bottom and the top again. And then I found, this was from the Paper Bag Lady. I wish I would have bought more of these. These were kind of like glittered. They had sequins on them. They were crocheted, but they had a crocheted sequins, and they were gorgeous. And I was going to buy them, and at the time, I just, money was tight, so I couldn't grab, and I was like, darn, I wished I would have. But anyway, I put some little beads on the inside of it, and because it's got the little rose on top, and I glued that one on top of that one. So there's like 1, 2, 3 doilies on this thing. But anyway, I also used some beaded sprays that I had from my stash, and they were leaves. So I cut 2 of them out, and I Mod Podged them on and glued this. And then I took some of my little jewelry pieces that I have, my jewelry bling that I showed a while back ago. I can't remember. I think these were rings. Yeah, they were. These were rings. So I took off the centerpiece, and because of these being on something that's going to be knocked around or something, I decided to glossy accent these. So these have been glued down with glossy accents for them to stay, and I put several coats around and underneath it so they will not get knocked off. And then I used some of the wedding appliques that I have bought from Rosella. And thank you, Rosella. And she also sent me a package of these gorgeous gorgeous as a rack. And I tell you what, it was the most beautiful, beautiful rack I could have ever received, because I do love wedding appliques. And I used, this is one of them that I used, and then there's one over here. I had cut down, some of them I cut down and condensed, so I would make more than one applique, and I just made a little design all the way around. And this, I'm just going to kind of pull it up close, but as you can see the pattern. Gorgeous piece. And like I said, these these are heavy. They weigh a ton. I mean, they really weigh a ton, as you could see by the thickness of the platter. And if you look on the underside, see how badly stained this was? I mean, it was just so badly stained. But look at the old marking on there. It's called Warranted. And I actually did find the marking, the maker of this piece. And it is actually a Staffordshire piece. But unfortunately, like I said, it wasn't a seller in eBay because of the stains. And but I knew the value of the antique itself. And I decided to... Oops, I'm trying to get that to stay. This might not be a good idea. But I decided to, you know, to make them useful instead of sitting in a kitchen cabinet just not being used and just stared at. I mean, I bet you I've got at least 30 or 40 turkey platters in that one cabinet that I can do something with. And I don't want to throw them away. And some of them are still sellable, and I probably could throw them in eBay and sell them. But right now, because I can't sell and I'm not really, you know, able to health-wise, I don't even know if I'll ever be able to health-wise sell large packages of stuff like this again. But I'm going to try to make them useful. You know, if any way I can make them useful. Well, anyway, that's the first one I made. And the first one I love. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's glamorous. It's glitzy. And it's just, I just love it. Okay, now the second one I did a little bit differently. It's got a little bit of bling on it. Oops. Okay, let me see if I can. I think what I'm going to have to do is pull this one. Let me pull this one out. And put this over here, so I don't want it getting broken or messed up. Anyway, the second one I did similar. I took a dolly, which was here, and Mod Podged it on. And then there was another dolly that went this way, so I tried to fit them where they would, you know, like a puzzle pattern or something. So I glued a second dolly on there, and then I glued a wedding applique here. And, let's see, is there a third dolly on there? Yeah, there's a third dolly right here, which was a small dolly. And then I put the wedding applique, wedding applique, wedding applique. That was my stash there. And these here were some that I bought from Rosella, or they were from the rack that she sent me. And it was just so gorgeous. But I also, the one dolly had like a white and a pink. So this has a little bit of a pink hue behind it. It's got a all white and kind of a creamy look. But it also has that just a little pink haze underneath it. I think it's just gorgeous. I love it. But anyway, this is the second one. And I'm going to just kind of like go through and show you how that looked. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, when I got this idea, I was like, oh yes, nobody has a turkey platter in YouTube. So this was my idea. So, but anyway, and I'm glad when I don't have to copy somebody. That's something I try not to do, but I'm going to be honest with you. All you ladies are so talented out there and have some of the most beautiful projects that sometimes you can't help but copy. I mean, you just can't help it. It's you see that one item you like and you got to make it. And I've got a list a mile long of the projects, and I just, you know, hopefully I'll get a chance to do one. But this one is also saying Warranted. This is a piece of American-made pottery. I looked it up. I can't remember the maker's name, though. But as you can see how old and tea-dyed look. It just has that tea-dyed look, and this is just, I mean, you know, sitting on top of a dresser. And this is what I'm calling these. The altered turkey platter into a dresser tray. Or you can put this in a bathroom, like you could put it in the bathroom and put some soaps on it. Just as long as your bathroom doesn't absorb a lot of steam and moisture, this piece would look great on a bathroom counter somewhere with some real pretty soaps or a comb and brush, and you know, just something really shabby chic on it. Maybe some pearls on top, you know, just to give it that little decoration. But that was my second piece, and I was just tickled to death that it turned out so beautifully. So I was really pleased. I just wish they would stay where I could keep them to stay where they wouldn't fall. Okay, then my third one. Oh my gosh, this one here, I kind of wanted to give it a tea-dyed look. I just, I had some old tea-dyed looking doilies, and I just wanted it to not have that whiter cream, but more of a tea-dyed. So it's kind of a mixture of like a light almond or light cream, and then the dark tea-dyed look, and I blinged this one up. So this is the one I'm keeping for myself. I had a field day with this one. Isn't this gorgeous? Let me pull it back. Look at this piece. Oh my gosh, isn't this gorgeous? It is so beautiful. And these are some ring blings that I bought. I ordered these out from China, and especially these right here. These came from China. Or was it, no, these here came from China, and I got like 50 in a box, so I was like really tickled that I had so many of them. And, I'm glad I'm being able to use them in something that I wanted to incorporate with. But this is how this one turned out, and I just love how it went. It's, like I said, it's got, there's a tea-dyed doily, or there's a, let's see, there's a white doily underneath, or kind of like a darkish, it's not really, it's more like a cream. Then there was a tea-dyed doily that was cloth that I used. So I used some cloth, and I actually used some cloth and some crocheted. Then there was this really old doily here. So I put that one there, and then I put this wedding applique in the center, and then a bling, wedding applique, and then all around this whole entire border is cut up. It's a matching wedding dress, so the appliques are all matching, and I just put a wedding applique all the way around to make it match. Then I glued the bling with glue and glossy accents, and it's the things are there to stay. I made sure I double glued it, triple glued it, so it would stay. But that is the third piece, and it's just, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Look how beautiful this turned out. I was so tickled, and I cannot wait to display this in my home. It's just really absolutely gorgeous. And on the back of it, as you can see, there is a see how tea-dyed it looks? I mean, it is old. And this particular piece, because of the marking being kind of like it was, I know it's an old marking. I know this piece is from the 1890s. There's no doubt about it, because I've worked with these markings numerous times. And, but I could not make out the maker, because the piece itself has kind of worn down. The seal on it, or the marking has worn down. So I do know it is an antique piece. It is made of old pottery and clay, and it is a very thick, heavy piece, and it's also, like I said, it's antique ironstone. So this is going to go beautifully. Like I said, these would go beautiful sitting on a coffee table somewhere with just, some pearl beads, or just something really glamorous. They also, in a bathroom with a comb and a brush and some pearl beads, a dresser tray. Oh my gosh, this would be gorgeous sitting on top of a bed, where your bed's made up, has the shabby chic, cream and tea-dyed looks, and you have this sitting on top of your bed with some pearls, or maybe an old little altered hand antique book, that's small, that's put on the side, maybe some old women's glasses or something. I mean, your mind and imagination can go wild with these pieces, but this is the third one I made, and like I said, I was tickled to death that I was able to make such beautiful pieces, and I'm glad I didn't throw these away. I mean, there was a time that I actually thought, was thinking about throwing these away. Glad I didn't, because I think they are just absolutely gorgeous. So these are the three pieces that I made. I'm going to try to see if I can set them upright so I can display these. And I've got one more turkey platter idea that I'm going to share with you all. And just in case you ladies do want to try this out and make some presents with, a few friends. And I'm pretty sure at your thrift stores, you find these platters all the time. Sometimes you find the circle ones. There's just variety. You could go on million miles. And like I said, no two pieces will ever be alike, and they all will be different pieces of art. So let's say that you create one, but you have totally different doilies than I do, and you may have totally different bling than I do. So each person that makes one of these, this is their masterpiece, their self. Even though they might be using my idea, they will have their own masterpiece because they have different appliques that maybe I don't have, or, you know, they don't have the same thing as me. Well, this little platter is a little bit thinner in size. It's very lightweight. It's not as heavy as these are. And so it's really lightweight. It actually was a Wedgwood of Uturia platter. And Wedgwood platters are highly collectible. I mean, they are just so collectible. But once again, the people that are collecting the Wedgwood pieces are more interested in the mint condition of the piece. They don't want to pay top dollar for something that's got stains or burn marks or things like that. So I knew it was a piece of Wedgwood, and I was tickled to death that I found it. I loved it. It had a scrolled raised pattern on it, and it wasn't, in the antique ironstone. It was actually beautiful, and it really wasn't a bad looking platter. But it had a few burn marks in the scrolls, so that just ruined it. It was just, nobody would really want it. So it just never sells. So I put it in the cabinet and said, okay, well, this is an antique piece, and maybe one day I'll be able to pass it to my kids. But, like I said, my kids are not going to want 30-some platters from me, so I'm going to have to do something a little different here. Either sell some of them, get rid of some of them, or do something with them, so they would be desirable, and, I can give some as gifts as well. So anyway, this particular platter here, I took it, and I took some of that, I can't remember what I did with the paint, but it's the Krylon chrome silver paint. It's the chrome, not the bright chrome, not just regular silver, and it's by Krylon. And was it, let's see, Marlene, for you, Marlene won. In one of my videos, she had asked me, she can't wait to see what I plan on doing with angels. I have been on the Venture and my thrift stores for finding angels. And the main reason why I like to find the angels is to either spray paint them a white color so I can just, glue them on altered pieces. So, or, boxes. So I use some of the smaller angels for decorations on my altered projects. That keeps me from having to go buy an expensive piece of Prima or an expensive resin piece when I've already got a resin piece here that I bought at my thrift store for 50 cents. So, in a way, I'm saving money and not buying the resin pieces that may cost me $7 or $8 or $6 or $7. I'm not really sure how much they cost. I know I did spend about $50 a while back ago on some resin pieces from Prima, and I haven't used them yet. And the only reason why I haven't used them is because I knew how much I paid for them, and I've been hoarding them. So I need to stop the hoarding of the angels. But anyway, I found this particular plastic angel, which was a perfect size. It was a good size angel. And it was very lightweight, and it was, made in Japan. Just a cheapy little ornament. It was a solid gold color. And I spray painted it in a silver chrome, and then I glossy accented the angel onto a silver platter. So I turned this piece from, let me see if I can get it back there. I turned this piece from a ugly old, let's see if I can get it to keep from bending. Okay. I turned this piece from an ugly old platter that was in the kitchen cabinet to now having a wall hanging to put up somewhere. I was thinking about like one of my doors or something, just to give it that glitzy glamour or something. But that's what it looks like, and it has a raised border. This is all raised up. And, at one time, I'm pretty sure this platter was beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful, but it just wasn't sellable, and it just wasn't usable. It just, I would have used it because, I'm not ashamed of a little burn mark, but some people are, and they don't want a product that looks like it's old. They want a new look. And antiques, when you buy antiques, you buy old. You don't buy, by the condition, but there are many out there that want top-notch mint condition. But all these platters have value. Even though they're old and stained, they have value because of the age and the maker. It's the marking is what makes them so valuable. It's not the looks, but you don't want a nasty chipped platter either. You want something that's in fairly good condition, and these were stained, so unfortunately they didn't sell, but I didn't give them up either. And now I have an idea that got in my head, and I have taken 4 out of my kitchen cabinets, and now I can use them. Like I said, my mother's going to get one for a gift, and my sister's going to get one. I'm going to hang this up on a door somewhere for the Christmas holidays, and then one of these trays is going to be mine. So these were my projects for the weekend, well, actually, I did this 2 weeks ago. After this video, I'm 10 videos behind, so I've got 10 more projects I need to show. So, like I said, Linda's been busy. She hasn't just only been buying stuff from everywhere, but she's also been, watching TV and crafting, and this is what I came up with, and I'm just so tickled. So, ladies, if you like my items, go to your thrift stores and look for some platters, or ask your mother, did she have an old one that she was planning on giving away or something? But this is what you can do, and I mean, like I said, they make wonderful gifts. The older the piece, the more heavier the piece or thicker the piece, I think gives it that shabby chic. But you can, use a thinner platter if you don't have the thick, heavy platter. I just think the thick ironstone platter, though, just gives it that shabby chic look and of old. It just has that old age look. And if that's what you're looking for, then I would recommend the ironstone platters. And, like I said, you can find them in eBay. Somebody might be selling ones that are like mine that had the stains on them. And, you might be able to get one for less than 20 bucks, and stuff. But if you're lucky, go into your thrift stores and see if you can find some of these. And you might even have some in your home that you've had from a grandmother or great-grandmother, and you're never going to use it, but it just sits there and waste, and you don't want to throw it away because it's sentimental. Well, now you can take the sentimental piece out, put something on it, and enjoy it for the duration of your lifetime to pass on to your kids and let them do what they want to do. Well, I hope everyone liked my second series for Christmas, and thank you so much for all my new subbies that have subbed me this past weekend. I do deeply appreciate it. And I hope that you will enjoy watching my channel and enjoy the projects that I come up with. Some things are maybe copied, or it was someone else's project that I saw, gave me an idea, and I did it. But I always try to give credit for that person that made that item, so they get the credit and not me. But like you said, when it comes to watching these videos and the artwork that each person does, every single crafter in this YouTube is an artist of their own. Even though they see someone that made an origami box that it's been very, very popular here in YouTube, and I think it was Christina Griffiths, and she's the one that did the origami box. But I don't know how many of us have made some of those origami boxes, but they're not all the same. That's the amazing part about it. We used different paper, we used the colors that we liked, we used the floral designs we liked, the laces, the punches, or whatever we had to decorate those origami boxes. So each one that is made is a totally different piece of art. So it's really your masterpiece and your idea, but you just use someone else's pattern that, they showed you how to do it. So now you go flock with it, and sometimes the item gets improved. So that's another thing. You may create the altered, like the altered paper flower, the paper flower bead flower that I made. Even though I made the original and it's just the flower itself, somebody in this YouTube is going to see my video and they're going to get another idea and they're going to totally blow mine away. And it's going to be nice, though, because that shows people their imagination, and what they saw that I made, they created something better. So that's what our community is all about, sharing and caring, and also, teaching one another our skills. And I just love YouTube. I really do. And the women that are in here are just wonderful artists. And some of them have also become very great friends. Well, I hope y'all have a very nice Monday and a nice week. I don't know when my next video will be, but I'll be popping in. Love you guys. Bye-bye.